Hi guys, welcome to Sourcing Classes. This is Hima Hegde presenting before you a video session on the anthropology related current affairs. To begin with, let us look at the topics underlined for the week. The week as in 15th of May to 22nd of May. So here we have the topics under archaeology, the topics under tribal affairs, physical or biological anthropology, socio-cultural anthropology, and linguistic anthropology. If you need the briefing or the elaboration of any of these subtopics, you will find these in the official anthropology or the Sourcing Classes website, that is www.sourcingclasses.com, where you will find the A&D document, that is the Anthropology News Diary document, which are regularly being uploaded. Moving on, here are the topics underlined for today. We have totemism, which comes under socio-cultural anthropology, the genetic link to bipolar disorder, that is a part of biological anthropology, AI, that is artificial intelligence to save endangered languages, that is a part of linguistic anthropology, and then the tribal shades of India, that can come under tribal affairs. So firstly, we have totemism. So what is totemism? Totemism is basically the belief, a system of belief in which humans are said to have kinship or a mystical relationship with a spirit being, such as an entity, that is animal or the plant. Now this entity, that is the spirit being like animal or the plant, is called as the totem. The totem. This is called as the totem. Now this is thought to interact with a given kin. The totem is thought to interact with a given kin, group or an individual, and to serve as their emblem or a symbol. So here is an example of a totem or a spirit being. Moving on, the term totemism has been used to characterize a cluster of traits in the religion and in the social organization of many people. Totemism is manifested in various forms and types in different contexts and is most often found among populations whose traditional economies is relied on hunting and gathering, mixed farming with hunting and gathering, or emphasize the raising of cattle. Totemism is a complex of varied ideas and ways of behavior based on worldview drawn from the nature. Social or collective, or before that, the ideological, mystical, emotional, reverential and genealogical relationships of social groups or specific persons with the animal or natural objects, the so-called totems. So there are the following kinds of relationships with the totems. So here is another example of a spirit being or the totem. This could be a bird spirit as seen. So moving on, we have social or collective totemism and also individual totemism. So coming to social or collective totemism, this is widely disseminated form of this belief system. It typically includes one or more of several features such as the mystic association of animal and plant species, natural phenomena, or created unilineal related groups, or with the local groups or families. The hereditary transition of the totems. Groups and personal names that are based directly or indirectly on the totem. The use of totemistic emblems and symbols. Taboos and prohibitions that may apply to the species. Itself or can be limited to the parts of animals and plants, and connection with a large number of animals and natural objects within which distinction can be made. Coming to individual totemism, it is expressed in an intimate relationship of friendship and protection between a person and particular animal or a natural object, that is sometimes between a person and a species of animal. The natural object can grant special power to its owner. Individual totemism is widely disseminated. It is found not only among the tribes of hunters or harvesters and among families of herdsmen. Individual totemism is especially emphasized among the Australian Aborigines and the American Indians. Next, we have the genetic link to bipolar disorder. So first let us look at the context. Scientists have identified dozens of previously unidentified genetic indicators that increase the risk of bipolar disorder in what scientists say is the largest study of its kind to date. Here are the highlights. Firstly, now what is bipolar disorder? It is a heritable mental disorder characterized by severe mood swings, which could have mania or hypomania and depression. Mania or hypomania and depression. It's estimated to affect about 45 million people across the globe. It is well established that bipolar disorder has substantial genetic basis and identifying DNA variations that increase the risk can yield insights into the condition's underlying biology. The DNA variations. Only a fraction of the genetic etiology of bipolar disorder has been identified. Only a fraction has been identified, and the specific biological mechanisms underlying the development of the disorder are still unknown. The study found that the DNA variations involved in the brain cell communication and calcium signaling that increase the risk of bipolar disorder. Amongst the total 64 genomic loci associated with increased risk, 17 have previously been tied to the development of schizophrenia. 17 of them have been tied with the development of schizophrenia, whereas 7 of them with major depression. A coincidence that researchers say represents the first overlap of genomic-wide significant loci between the mood disorders. Across the entire genome, almost all variants influencing the bipolar disorder also influence schizophrenia and major depression, albeit with variable effects. Now the clinical association or the clinical evidence of association between bipolar and sleep disturbances, problematic alcohol use and smoking have also been seen. In addition, the results appear to confirm the previous indication that the two subtypes of bipolar are genetically based, with bipolar disorder 1, that is the bipolar disorder type 1, is correlated with schizophrenia, and the type 2, that is bipolar disorder type 2, is associated with major depression. Ultimately, the researchers hope that the new and the confirmed genetic correlations could help us identify the most suitable candidate genes that could be targeted to future form of medication. Next, artificial intelligence to save the endangered languages. Google has devised a new strategy for retaining the endangered languages. Google is now providing different cultures of the AI resources to require the safeguard of their languages. Now Google has come up with an open source photo translation user interface named Woolaroo. It is accessible for PC, Android and also iOS. The iOS users via Google Arts and Culture that use artificial intelligence and image identification to help conserve languages that are on the verge of extinction. This feature can be used by different communities to extend their vocabulary or the words in their own context. If there is a doubt that a certain word are not added in the software, one can actually enlist the word easily along with the pronunciation. This is extremely crucial for languages that lack specific terms to explain advanced concepts such as phones or computers. At first, the software allows the user to explain the 10 languages from all over the world, namely Maori, Yiddish, and Australia's indigenous Yugambeh. As you can see here, Yugambeh is an indigenous language of Australia that is in Queensland and South Wales. There are 100 plus speakers. Moving on, however, it would be great if it starts expanding the language range. According to UNESCO, at least 2,572 of the world's recorded 6,000 languages are endangered. Even though the Woolaroo will not ensure that these languages will remain actively usable, it will help them prevent from their backgrounds and disappearing into extinction. In this way, Woolaroo will help to preserve the languages and were gone to extinction or endangered long ago. This update was due for so long to help people protect their languages and continue to use their native tongue. The fact that it is an open source platform, anybody can easily change or modify the meaning of any word or add a new word at any time. So lastly, we have the tribal shades of India. Firstly, we have the Gond tribe Chhattisgarh. This is just a brief walkthrough of 5 of the tribes. So firstly, we have the Gond tribe of Chhattisgarh, found in central India, mostly in the Basta district of Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh. Gonds are known for their unique lifestyle. Next, the Santal tribe of West Bengal. The Santals majorly live in West Bengal's Bankura and Purulia districts. The main occupation of Santals is agriculture and livestock. Next, we have the Apatani tribe of Arunachal Pradesh. The Apatanis live in the Zero Valley in the lower Subansiri district of Arunachal Pradesh. The tribe is known for their unique look and bamboo houses. Next, we have the Kodava tribe of Karnataka. One of the distinct races in India, the Kodavas, are noted for their bravery since ages. These people are quite fond of music and dance. So lastly, we have the Irula tribe of Tamil Nadu. Irula people are expert snake and rat catchers. They live in most parts of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Kerala. So with this, we have come to an end of today's video session. Hope you found it informative. For any of the details regarding the course, do visit the official website of Sourcing Classes, that is www.sourcingclasses.com. Thank you.